every character had their own time to leave an impression on you.
If you're down or whatever's going on in your life, 100% watch this film.
You know, it's actually gone down as one of the most iconic entry scenes
really
of all time.
But we don't get it as much now, do you think?
The pure comedy and the ability to sort of switch your mind off and just
Yeah.
watch it, I feel like you don't really get that much.
Welcome to the Pan India project. My name is Rohan, aka the Indian Cinema Junkie. And guess who's back in the studio?
Me
It's
again.
Anu. And for today's episode, we're talking about a film that came out in
2007.
2007. That's it. Chotta Mumbai, and it just re-released in the UK last week. So we're here to talk about the film, what we thought about it and stuff. So out of 10, are you ready to say it? Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 9
7.
out of 10. Huh? No. Wait. Only 7.
Yeah, I think it's a 7.
Oh, but do you know what? I think the cinema experience might up. But then
Yes.
I kind of rewatched it. I did rewatch it today without subtitles. I still enjoyed it.
No, I enjoyed it. Dude, 7's good. 7's just,
Okay.
you know, not a 10.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like 7's still good.
Okay. But then, do you think it's aged well then, this film? Do you
No,
think...
I think it has.
Yeah.
Because like obviously, I've watched it when I was a kid, and then I rewatched it last night to prepare for today, and I don't think like none of the jokes have aged badly. They're all still really funny, and just I think in terms of the only difference is like some of the actors are caught up in like controversy and scandals and all of that now. But other than that, the movie I think aged really well.
Yeah, I mean, when the first time I watched it was at the cinema last week. Yeah, and I think it's still one of those old ones that you can actually watch and enjoy, because it's not even a long film. It's like 2 hours 11 going off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So it's still a short film and stuff. But I think it was a good watch, and just the cinema experience I had.
It keeps you hooked like the entire time.
Yeah, and when we get into it, I think the story is quite complex compared. Like when you watch it, you don't realize, but when you actually think how many elements there are, there's actually like quite a lot.
Yeah,
but it doesn't take away of they actually do such a good job for that film.
There's like a lot of even the parts that it gets sort of like emotional or it gets deep.
Yeah.
They always just follow it up with comedy in
Yes.
in like that exact scene. So then you don't really feel that it's got a lot going on. It just feels like a full comedy movie.
Yeah, you're right about that actually.
Yeah.
Because there's one scene we'll talk about later on, which was like serious and then literally switch.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just gonna read like the cast, because there's actually like, it's not one actor's show really. Like,
no.
you know, of course you have Mohanlal, but then you've got, you know, like Bhavana, you've got Kala Bhavan Mani,
Kalabo money.
Indrajit Sukumaran. Is that Prithviraj's
Prithviraj's
brother?
brother.
Do you know what? I didn't see it when watching the film, but I think on his picture on IMDb, you can tell there is some like
There
similarities
is,
in
yeah.
the face.
I mean, he's an Emperor as well.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
in
that's it. He was
Lucifer
the
Emperor.
journalist. Yeah, because that's where I recognize him from.
Yeah.
When watching this, who else? Yeah, Indrajit Sukumaran. You've got is it Biju Kuttan? Biju
Kuttan.
Kuttan. That's it.
Yeah, so Kuttan's pretty much like little boy or boy. So that's it's just like a suffix that they add to the end of it.
Yeah, Sai Kumar. You mentioned Siddiqui earlier as well. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of other
Oh,
characters.
you're missing out Jagadish Srimar, which is a big one. He's Padakam Bashir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How can we not forget? Oh yeah, Jagat. Sri Kumar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it is a big cast, but at the same time, they all had a part. So that's what I'm gonna ask you now. Like, what did you like about the film?
I feel like I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say this, but I love the fact that they have big actors, big name actors. You've got Mohanlal, Kalabo Mani, like Bhavana, you've got Sai Kumar, you've got those guys. But then you also have the smaller cast. And the thing with this movie, I feel like every little person had their own part to play, and every little, by little, I don't mean like, I'm
but,
lessening them in any way, but just in terms of star value.
Yeah.
But every character had their own time to leave an impression on you,
Yeah.
like the viewer. So that's what I enjoyed. Plus, like I said, Malayalam cinema back in the day, in this, I think 2007, it was sort of phasing out of it a little bit, but the focus on comedy and with scenes that were more emotionally heavy or like were a bit more serious, to have comedy in that still and to make light of the situation. That's what I
Yeah.
like the best about it. What did you like the best about
Yeah,
it?
I mean, it was funny, like
Yeah.
in the cinema. I mean,
No, but okay, as a non-Malu watching this,
yeah,
I know a lot of the jokes were a bit like Malu-centric in the sense that you kind of need to know the language to understand it. So how was your experience watching it as a non-Malu?
I think it was funny. Like I was laughing. Like I'm not gonna say I wasn't laughing. Like there
Yeah.
was a lot of parts, especially in the cinema, where
Yeah.
I was laughing. Even today when watching it, because it's available on SunX,
Yeah.
but there's no subtitles. Like I was still like in because I kind of this, and I think that's why for me as a non like Malayali, you know, like I still kind of remembered what it meant when from the cinema. So like that worked for me. Like some of the scenes were very memorable. It was
Yeah.
definitely funny. And even touching upon the characters, I think the portrayal of characters was done really well.
Yeah.
And if you notice, each of them are different. You
They
said
are,
each of them
yeah.
got a different story. Even like if I look at if I say the way they dressed, you cannot say one person dressed the same.
No, they
Even if
can't.
it is Bashir, you know, the flared red trousers or
Yeah.
whatever, you know. Is it Chandra? Let me check.
Is it Chandran? Chandrapan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chandrapan. He had, you know, the little open shirt.
Yeah.
Like, just all of them had a different sense to them. Even the way they acted, like,
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done. The music, I really enjoyed.
The
Like,
music was so good.
oh my god, like when Vasco da Gama came on in the cinema, yeah, it was.
I wish, man, but they just did the one. They just
one
did the
showing
one
like
showing.
in one cinema, but they had more other areas. But
But
I
you
just
know,
think-
I
yeah.
read like people that actually watched it in India for
Oh,
the
that-
re-release. They said that entire theater just turned
Yeah,
into the
have
big
you seen the
party.
video? Like,
Yeah,
they literally turned into a
even for
concert.
you, yeah,
Like,
you had,
yeah, it was. But I just think those were some key things. What else? Because I feel like, am I missing anything? Yeah, good music. The film, I think it's a well-rounded film. Like you're right, it's got everything like drama, emotion, funny. I think those are like stuff I would say that I really enjoyed. But is there anything that you thought wasn't for you?
I don't think so, because I feel like it just has everything
Yeah.
that you need to make a good movie. All the different aspects. The music was good. The acting was great. The storyline itself, though it is still sort of like simple, they still managed to like have its highs and lows and peaks and all of that. So I give it a 7 purely because growing up, obviously I've watched it, but rewatching it last night by myself on my laptop, maybe it was the viewing experience that brought that down for me, that I didn't absolutely love it.
Yeah, because what was it? What was I saying?
What you didn't like.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. Do you know what? This is not. I don't know if it's a funny thing or my eyes weren't working.
Yeah.
But when I watched it the first time, you know the brothers villain Sedition.
Yes.
You know when he came in, right? He had his arms like this.
Yeah.
And then he obviously, spoiler, kills the Guju guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And in my head, I thought, okay, he only has one arm. And then I see him turn up, and I was like, he's got both of his arms. So in my head, I was like, wait a minute.
You're so right.
Does he meant to have one arm? But then obviously they show him pull both out. He's after the scene when I rewatched it today. I
Yeah.
realized like he actually does have two arms. But in my head, I was like, wait a minute.
I think they were just trying to get him to think
Like
that he
yeah,
didn't.
like
Yeah,
against when he was killing the guy,
Yeah.
it must have been like a disguise.
yeah.
That's not something I would say I didn't like. The only thing I would say with this film, one, get it on a good streaming platform.
Oh my goodness.
Amazon Prime, Netflix.
Even Sunnex. I don't know if it was just my Sunnex. Was yours like really bad quality?
It was like 420.
480.
Yeah, it looked alright, but it could have been better.
It could have been so much better.
Now that it got released in 4K
Yeah.
or whatever. But just get it on a good streaming website. And also, I just wish we had more shows.
Yeah.
Because we only had, like, in the cinema that I went to, there was only one show on that Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think there were a few extra elsewhere and then a few on the Monday. because other cinemas had it the week before, but I
But
think
to
it was
release
limited.
it on a Sunday night is so annoying.
It was
Like,
packed.
it was, yeah, no, it was. It's gonna be packed, but like for me personally, that's
Yeah.
why I didn't get to watch it because like for such a it's not even mass, but for such a fun movie, like you
Yeah.
want it to be on a weekend and you want to chill out and watch it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that this film is one film, like if you're down or whatever's going on in your life,
Literally.
if you're upset, 100% watch this film and you'll be like, this is what I need. Because even I think
Yeah.
even today I was like, this is the type of film I like. This is the type of film I need. Like it's just one of those films that will cheer you up.
It's like a feel good movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I think in terms of the story now, how would you describe it briefly?
Briefly, so Tala is someone that always looks out for his friends and literally has his friends' backs, maybe to a fault. Like he literally puts his house deed up to like get these guys to Malaysia and it doesn't work out. And then he just accidentally gets caught up in something that's a bit too far. So he gets caught up in this is the killing someone.
Yeah.
And he witnesses it, and then it's from then on that Kalabamani, the villain, and Vinayagan, Vinayagan,
from
he's in
Jailer.
jailer,
Yeah.
so Kalabamani and Vinayagan are siblings, and they pretty much want to avenge the murder. And who are they going to
yeah.
put it on? They're going to put it on Tala.
Yeah, because that was like literally one side of it, but then you also had like this is full spoilers, but the whole father and son aspect, right?
Oh, I did. You know what really gets me? Every single time Sai Kumar and Mohanlal play father and son, they're only apart in like 2 years.
Really? What, the
Yeah.
age gap?
Yeah.
No way.
2-3 years, Sai Kumar and Mohanlal.
They're only 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So even in which you also need to watch, Christian Brothers, he like Sai Kumar is Mohanlal's
dad.
dad in Christian Brothers as well.
Oh.
And they're so similar in age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even that's a whole. Because you mentioned, you're right. You mentioned about they were gonna go Malaysia for the job,
Yeah.
and they get screwed over, but the way they got the money, you're right, was through like remortgaging or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
dad's property, and the dad didn't know.
He didn't.
And then it was only until we got that's where the intermission came in, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like, the loan guy came and it was
Yeah.
like we have to everyone out because their sister was getting married, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It was during the like
Everyone-
wedding, yeah.
And it was like you have to get out, and the dad's like, "What are you talking about?" Because going on to that like serious and comedy bit, like it was a like emotional bit where Dalla was saying that, "Oh yeah, I had to sell my house," and then the comedy bit after that. Oh yeah, because he was drunk. He persuaded his
Yeah,
dad by
yeah.
getting him drunk because he wants to give away his organs.
Yeah.
And then so I think there's a lot to it. There is the father and son bit and the bit you mentioned about the murder.
Yeah.
And Tomichan gets framed for it, right?
Yeah.
That's another side story or main part of the story.
But he sort of fell on his sword for Tala.
Yeah, 'cause
was
he
just like,
wanted to
yeah,
do it, and-
yeah.
And going on to that, the lawyer that was helping both sides. At first, I was like, "Is he gonna snake them out
Yeah.
here?" Like but he didn't really. He
No,
stuck
no.
to them. Yeah, because now let's go into a bit more because at the beginning, we're introduced to all the crew basically,
Yes, yeah.
right? And each of them have their story, right?
Yeah.
So we introduced to the first two, right?
Yeah.
Is name all
Chandrapan and
Sainu.
Sushilan.
oh,
Oh no. Oh yes, I
Sainu,
know. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And then they're running, and then because the whole voiceover when introducing them
Yeah.
is done by Mohanlal, right?
Yeah.
And this was actually quite funny as well because they were like, they're doing like 500 meters race or whatever.
Yeah.
And what you see them running from the police, so that
Yeah.
was quite funny. Then it was is it so he
Yeah. Sushilan.
Sushila and
Yeah.
we got to see.
The shorter one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going off with the white woman.
Yeah.
And then it was Tomicha, but Tomicha was, I think, out of everyone, he was a bit more serious.
He was quiet, and
Yeah.
I think like it was a good
Mix.
It was a good
you're right.
balance because the other ones, even in like being quiet, his character had an impact.
And it had a heart because his sister, we see that his sister and him like going back home or whatever, and he gets into a tussle between the guys,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden, with just like glass rod, he's trying to go for the guy,
Yeah.
but the guy pulls his sister, and he actually catches his sister. And
Yeah.
there was that whole saga between, because their mum was
It's-
like,
of
"You're the
course.
reason why she's
Yeah.
like become blind."
Oh
right?
my god, the mum was so mean.
Oh yeah,
The
and
mum
then
was taking it out on the daughter as if like
and another side quest, the whole relationship, because Tommy-chan's mum and Mohanlal's dad in the film are brother and sister, and
But
they just kind of have this like
estranged.
a
yeah.
rivalry between both of them.
Yeah.
That's another thing. There were so many side quests, but I just don't think it took away from the film.
It didn't.
So then we get the introduction of all of them, and then I think that's when Mohanlal's entry comes in after, right? Because yes, then we see that good writer guy get murdered,
Yeah.
but then there's that like Doom kind of style race,
Yeah.
where they find a treasure, but then and then it just turns messy, right?
Yeah.
And
But
then
how iconic was the entry scene?
oh yeah, all you see Tomachan's head like this, and you just see him point like this,
Yeah.
this camera, and then is it Chandrapan?
Yeah,
Chandrapan, he's
Chandrapan,
just
yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
stretching, and he's just chilling and then all you see the picture, right?
Yeah.
And
It's actually gone down as one of the most iconic entry scenes of
Really?
all time. Yeah, because
Oh, it is.
it's not one of those slow motion ones that you
No,
you
you're
sort
right.
of see Mohanlal do now, but it was just a pure like comedic
yeah,
one
because as soon as the picture pans out, who do we see?
that we see
Mohanlal.
Tala.
And he does not look how he normally looks.
Yeah.
He's like in like some purple costume.
Yeah.
Singing, dancing. That was
That would have been insane in the theaters.
And to see him even dance like that, I was like,
even now, like that is one of the most memed. I think if you follow like what Ayrton Dancing Weekly, like the page, they use him dancing in that costume as like the.
it is funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like that's his entry, and then he kind of, because as we know, the guys got arrested. He kind of gets revenge from the other team. And that's another moment which was so good. When he was getting his revenge against the guy, he's like posing and he's like, clap, everyone applause.
Yeah, yeah.
In the cinema, that, of course, like, I love moments like that where it
Yeah.
gets us as an audience involved.
Yeah.
Like, I wish a few more films did that, right?
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, fourth wall or whatever. Because like clap. So of course you're not gonna stand there and do nothing in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cinema.
exactly.
So that was a memory.
Also, the what I found really funny was the whole Shaquilla scene.
Oh my god. Yes.
I like the thing is, I think as a child, I just didn't understand what it was as a joke.
Yeah.
So then rewatching it yesterday, I was like, "There's no way they did that entire thing," and everyone's like walking around, like getting the photos with her and
that's it.
everything. Yeah,
Oh, that was definitely a highlight because we see what's his name, like they all get that job right, the acting job.
yeah.
And then you're
They
right.
say Tala got the acting job, but did he actually do
But
anything?
yeah, what happened? Oh no, but remember, like, in the film when he got the acting job, because he was gonna marry
Bhavana,
but
yeah.
at that time she liked someone else.
Yeah.
Who we see as a little surprise cameo, which
Suraj.
Suraj
Yeah.
Venajaramodu. But that was quite a nice cameo.
It was,
and
it
even
was.
for what he did, he was good in that little.
Even like so Shakila, Suraj Venyaramudu, like they had
All the
like a few little cameos here and
it
there.
was fun.
Yeah.
But then even going back to that picture, that was hilarious because Bashir was dropping the firecrackers to get the crowd off. And even his introduction, honestly.
Bashir's introduction.
That was hilarious because
good.
we see the hand and he calls. And then that music you hear with his introduction.
Yeah.
It's like, and when you go to the arcade and you're playing on a dancing game.
Literally, that's actually what it sounds like.
And even the background music like that was so good because it had that, I would say maybe back then, that modern urban kind of.
A little bit. It
Yeah,
had a
it
bit of like
was.
rappy
you're
kind
right.
of music.
But
Yeah.
it was actually so good. Like for me, that was my favorite character in the film.
Bashir.
Yeah, who was yours?
I think mine was Sistala. You know me.
Yeah, of
you
course,
know
of
me. I'm
course.
not gonna pick a non-Mohanlal
Yeah.
character as my favorite.
Yeah, fair
one.
enough. Yeah.
I think even in that, it's such a you can see him do a lot more heavy sort of roles that require him to actually show his
Yeah,
acting. So this one seems really effortless, but there are little points where it's just a way he'll quickly glance or he'll quickly look or the pauses or the comedic timing. It's still while it seems effortless, I feel like a lot of effort has gone into it because
Yeah.
he seems like such a relatable sort of,
This
the guy that you know from down the road, like that sort of
It's
like
chill,
yeah.
Because you're right. Even with like Mohanlal's comedy in this film, it wasn't overdone. Like
It
you won't see
wasn't.
him laughing like 20, like overdoing the laughing or anything. You know,
Yeah.
even the way he plays a drunk guy, like I have to give
Yeah.
credit to him there.
Also, I really like the scene where they had just gotten kicked out of the house, and then they were like literally sitting there, and then they were all talking about whether or not like Bashir has done it, and I was
Yeah, like,
thinking,
what's
oh,
he
what
done?
did he try and do? Like go get the deed back or what?
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he just looks really sad, and it's sort of like building up, and
Yeah.
then he's just got a
He
bottle.
pulls out the bottle from his stomach. It's like, yeah, that was so funny. And then even with that scene, after the whole like tussle between him and his father,
Yeah.
it's like Morn was like, "Oh, I wonder what my dad's doing. I bet you he hasn't eaten."
And
And what's
he's-
the
yeah.
first thing they show? The dad's got a big like metal plate eating rice and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, oh my god,
And the only thing he's complaining about is the fact that there was no fish to eat with it.
literally the way they transition to
But I really like the father-son relationship that they have
Yeah.
in there because when they introduce, well, you know how the beginning with the voiceover and they're
oh yeah, because
introducing
he was a
everyone.
wrestler, right? The
Yeah,
dad as well,
yeah.
yeah.
So you can see that he literally talks to his son like, "Oh, you're good for nothing. Like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't train you to be like a wrestler
Yeah,
to get beat up by cops." But in times that, like, in the rest of the movie, you can see he literally stands by Tala, like for whatever he does.
They had such a close bond. It wasn't like from the start. You know where like most Indian films like are like father and son.
Yeah.
That's kind of the story throughout the film. But this was like a nice relationship they had.
Yeah, it was so
and then
sweet.
obviously when it gets serious, it gets serious. But
And even when he got when they got kicked out of the house and his dad left, when people were sort of talking about Tala, he still stood up for
when the
him.
guys were playing the gambling games,
he
you're
still
right,
was
yeah.
like, no, he's gonna be
he wants
good.
to change, right?
Yeah.
But see, that's like the father, and he had two sisters, right? And the
Yeah.
sisters were still like wanting to get to know, like Vasco. But do you think there's any other memorable scenes? Like, what's some of your favorite?
I think the alcohol scene was my
Yeah.
favorite. And then the one where he goes to, let me get the name right. When he goes to Vinayagan's house.
Oh, to meet the dad.
Sadishan. Yeah, so when he goes to Sadishan's house to sort of like scare him, and then
Oh yeah.
the mom is sitting there praying, and then they're like, "Oh man, like what is she praying about? She's literally praying."
Yeah,
praying
they think
for
she's
the-
a bit like crazy. Oh
But-
yeah, because she's praying. You're right. 'Cause
She's praying on the downfall of her
of the
son.
and then because that's quite a serious moment. And
Yeah.
then when Mohanlal's finished with his business, what is this crew doing? Eating.
Eating, they're literally eating. So that I don't know. It's just very fun. It's a fun watch.
That scene was very funny.
Yeah.
Even the other drunk one, when he's gonna meet Bhavana's dad,
Yeah.
and then he's like, and then he stops, like he's like that, and he stops, and it's like, who's the guy? Because we see the guy's feet,
Yeah.
and then it's the dad is like quite tight with them, right?
Yeah. But Bhavana's dad.
Yeah. They had that tight relationship from the start, and then the dad's trying to smell because he was like alcohol,
Yeah.
like you can say alcoholic. He loved drinking.
No, he was,
He was trying to
yeah.
smell it, and then he was trying to guess the thing. He was like, "Is it that brand?"
Yeah.
And it's like Tusker, and it's like, yeah, that was so funny.
Also, I genuinely thought he died.
Yeah, we see him literally everyone, and the whole crowd's around him. So
Yeah.
it's like, is he dead?
And Bhavana starts crying, and then he's literally just drunk and
And
he's
then-
just passed out.
And then even, God, there's actually the whole film's funny. They have to, like,
It
you can
is.
literally pinpoint. Even in the second half when they're trying to frame the whole crew,
Yeah.
and we see, is it Sadishan or no?
Oh, are you talking about the police
Yeah,
lineup bit? And they're trying to take a photo, and then they were like, "Oh, hold
They
on,
wanna
just give us a yeah."
But before that, when they caught the two guys, one, all you see the chase, but what they're doing is going around in circles.
Yeah.
Right? And the Jandrapan is having a bath, isn't he?
Yeah, and then they yank
They
him out,
have
and he's
to.
got soap all over
And they're
him.
like, and he's
so-
like, "What do you want me to like? Just let me have."
But you know what I was telling you about how Malayalam cinema back in the day was like so focused on like slapstick comedy and just comedy
Oh,
in
yeah,
general like this. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably the first experience that you've had with a little bit older school.
comedy. Yeah, this
Yeah.
and Mani Chitra. Well, I mean, I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's I wouldn't classify. I mean,
No,
it has its like
it's not
comedic
comedy.
moments.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a like comedy perspective.
Yeah.
But even right, you're going back to the other scene you mentioned about the actress. That was quite. Well, I mean, I don't think it would sit well
The
with people
Shaquille one.
today.
No, I
But
still think it's
It is a funny scene.
it is, yeah.
Because obviously she looked like the whole point was everyone was after her, right? Everyone in
Yeah.
the picture, but she was there. Whatever, how much you want to take a picture, take a
Yeah.
picture. And then she was getting ready, and then after they saw her, they're like,
because they're probably used to seeing Shaquille wearing a lot less.
Oh.
So that's why
she was like in a full white sari.
Yeah.
But then one by one, they still took a picture, which was funny, I would say. I mean, like even from start to finish, I can't really fault. I'm trying to think, is there anything I would change? But you know what? I was thinking, out of all the films the other industries could have remade from Malayalam, I'm surprised this one hasn't wasn't done.
I don't. This is what pisses me off about
Yeah.
remakes, because I'm like, why would you ruin a good thing?
Yeah, don't ruin this,
like you said, the only issue is that this movie is not on any streaming
Yeah.
platforms. If it was on a streaming platform, if it had subtitles, I am sure, like, it did really well as a
Yeah.
re-release as well. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that if they actually made the effort to put it on a proper streaming
Yeah.
platform with subtitles, it would do great. But they don't need to remake it.
No, not now. It's 2025. Maybe back then, if they weren't, but I was thinking, like, out of all the films, I'm surprised they haven't. Because even in terms of the genre itself,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're seeing less. We still get it, but we don't get it as much now, do you think?
This genre?
Yeah, like this
It's
type of film.
Yeah, I mean, now that movies have strayed away from music, I feel like the music in this movie was top notch. So the music and the pure comedy and the ability to sort of switch your mind off and just
Yeah.
watch it, I feel like you don't really get that much now.
No, yeah. Because I wouldn't call it brain rot comedy where it's like...
It's not though.
No,
Yeah, it's
actually
like
good.
it's feel good.
But then maybe that's where maybe Malayalam cinema is different to the rest, because maybe the other industries rely on brain rot a
Yeah.
lot more, whereas Malayalam cinema can actually deliver.
Hindi cinema 100%
Yeah, 100%.
relies on brain rot.
Because I think that's one different. Like they can actually do the comedy well, and they don't need to require like just do like stupid
Yeah.
actions or like anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Yeah, this wasn't like stupid ones where they like purpose. You know the
it's
sort
like
of comedy.
relatable.
Yeah, you know the sort of
Yeah.
comedy where they just like, get themselves hurt or they fall over and then
Or, like,
you
just
laugh.
knock
And
something and they're like,
yeah,
"What?"
it's not. It's actually the way it's been written. Let me see who's written it. The way
Yeah.
it's been written, the comedy just
because I think even in Bollywood films, I'm trying to think, maybe they rely on sound effects a lot more for the comedy.
Yeah.
Here they didn't need it because it was already like funny and stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But who do you know who wrote it? Oh.
Benny P. I don't know who it is. Oh wow, he's actually written a lot of these. Okay, all right. So cut out the part where I said that I don't know who he is. No, he's written a lot of these sort of comedy type,
Oh,
like
okay, so
slapstick
it's-
comedy, that sort of movies,
Yeah.
like Kalyana Raman, which, man, if you like this and if you get
Yeah.
into Malayalam movies enough, man, there are so many that I can recommend to
Really?
you that are just like the same sort of fun,
Vibe, yeah.
like feel good kind of
Yeah.
movies.
Because I know you mentioned about
CID Musa, yeah.
Is that quite similar to this?
It
Like-
is. It is, yeah. You
okay.
need to watch CID Musa.
So it's quite But is this which one's better? Out of,
I would say CID Musa.
oh really?
I think I'm just biased. I'm just biased purely because it's one of my earliest
Oh
film
yeah, so it's one of
watching.
your memories. Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
In terms of memories, I'm sure that if I watch it for the first time now, it's not
might be
going to.
different. Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
will be 100% be different. It's I don't know if I've like spoken to you about the Mehuna like analogy, right? So if you watch
No.
Mehuna as a kid,
Oh yeah, I think you
you'd
mentioned
still,
this.
yeah, you'd still love it. But then if you're watching it as an adult, you'd sort of be like, that's not right.
Yeah.
He can't jump off a helicopter
he's
like
running on
that.
the-
Yeah. So it's the same sort of thing. But
Ah.
I think this movie, you know how you asked before if it's aged well,
Yeah.
even if you watch it for the first time at the age that you're watching it now, I think you would find it really enjoying. But CID Musa
Yeah.
doesn't have that same aging
Yeah,
that this movie does
because
have.
even if you look at like Chotta Mumbai, it is a bit more family friendly.
It is, yeah.
I don't know. I think it was rated a 15 in here. I don't know why. I think
It wasn't that bad.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it was rated a 15 here in the UK.
Oh.
Let me check that.
Why?
I think there's a problem. Like
Oh,
honestly,
violence.
no. But actually, I've got it here. Yeah, 15. I have the proof. I got 15 here. Chotta Mumbai. What did they say about it? Infrequent, strong injury detail. I just think that's a problem with the British censorboard, in all of
It
Indian
is.
cinema.
Because
today.
it doesn't matter what age rating is on there. Whoever's going to
But
watch it
this
is going to
wasn't
go
really
watch
violent.
it.
Okay,
It
there's only
wasn't.
one little like stab thing or like
Yeah.
two, but that's literally it.
You'd
It's
see
more
worse,
like bush,
you'd
bush,
see
bush.
worse on like Peppa Pig.
Yeah, because you know what? Even another film that came out this year, Houseful 5,
Yeah.
rated 15. But
Dude,
it's
I
more
don't know. I don't know how you even watch Household 5.
yeah,
to be
it was
honest.
alright. It was good, decent, but I'm just thinking there's this whole issue. I think it's an issue.
With the Padish.
No,
that's
the whole
Hennessy.
censor board thing. Like
Oh,
these
yeah,
films
yeah.
are getting rated a 15 when technically, I think they could push for that lower rating.
Yeah. But do you think that makes a difference? Do you think that makes more people want to come watch it?
I think so. Like if let's say this one, like Chotta Mumbai came out like this in today's
Yeah.
time, and was rated a 15. I think it would have done better because I think that's what perfect for all the family.
Yeah.
So I think it.
But then again, especially with an Indian audience, I heard that people literally bought their kids to watch Marco.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, that's some sort. That's
You
next
know,
level.
and even when I went to go watch Animal, there were like little kids.
Wait, in the UK?
In Australia, but still,
Oh.
yeah. So it's I don't think the rating thing
Doesn't matter.
matters all that much.
Oh god, but it technically should.
For Marco, I've heard, like, I haven't even watched Marco, but I've heard.
I don't
Why
think
would
no
you
kid
bring a
should be
child?
watching that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like that's like, yeah. But you know, out of Mohanlal's films, would Chotta Mumbai make it in the top? Actually, I'm not gonna even say 10. I'm gonna say 15.
In terms of culturally significant movies, it could potentially,
Yeah.
but that's only, you know, I always get a lot of slack when I say this, but you have to sort of break it up into eras and genres with Mohanlal. Like his filmography is so extensive that you can't dilute it into a list.
Yeah. Someone said that I did. Is it 36 or whatever movies in 1 year once?
Yeah, once. I
Like-
think
It was like 80s or 90s.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. Yeah. But I'm like, how does he do it?
So every time we bring up a movie or we try and rate it, I think it's really important to understand the sort of category that we're doing it in.
Yeah.
In terms of comedy, if you're looking at his like comedy type of roles,
Yeah,
for sure got a chance. But he's done so much more than that you can't really
Forget about
distill
that. You
it
can't
into
just like forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, how many have I watched now? I've actually got a list. I've been writing them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Where is it? Here, Mohanlal movies.
Which ones have you watched then?
All right. So I'm going to include the ones where he's had cameos in there. As well.
Okay.
Drishyam, Lucifer, L2 Emperor, Tudurum, Spadikam, Pulimurgan, Jailer, Jonathan Garage, Vishnu Lokam, Vishnamayam, Surya Gayatri, Chotta Mumbai, Mani Chitrataram.
Okay. So you have listed a lot of the cameo ones in there.
Yeah, there's two, Jailer and Jonathan. But I think Jonathan Garage, he had like a bit more of a significant role. Like it was a bit more like father.
But then if you're talking about like movies back in the day, Mohanlal, Mammootty, of course. But there are other ones, like other big actors that sort of had the same sort of genre that you should probably watch.
Any recommendations?
Okay, in terms of my favorites, there's Dileep back in the day. Dileep's done a lot of comedy movies. So Dileep's got, I would recommend, C.I.D. Musa is one of them. Not like the pinnacle. I think the other ones would be Kalyana Raman, which also has Bhavana in it.
Okay.
Which is crazy if you think about. Do you know what happened? Dileep is fighting a court case right now because he is it assaulted? No, he put out a thing to get Bhavana raped.
What?
In real life.
No, is this actually legit?
It's legit.
Whoa.
So it's crazy to see, like, that's a lot of the, even so C.I.D. Musa has Bhavana in it. Kalyana Raman is Navya Nair and Dilip, which is really good. Pulival Kalyanam is Jay Surya. I don't know if you've watched any Jay
I
Surya
feel like that
movies.
name rings.
Yeah, so
rings a
that's
bell.
Jay Surya and Kavya Madhavan.
Okay.
Runway, that's Dilip and Kavya Madhavan. Those are the ones off the top of my head that I would rewatch and rewatch. Kilichunda Mambaram, that's a good one. That's Mohanlal, Salim Kumar, and I think her name was Soundarya. It was an actress. She's only done a couple of movies and then she got killed in a plane crash.
Oh, okay.
So if I want to feel good and if I want to just laugh, then those are the movies that are, yeah.
Because even Mammootty's film Rajamanikam was
Rajamanikam, yeah,
that
man.
was quite funny.
Yeah.
Even just the way he looked in that film.
There's in that age, I think there was Rajamanikam, Thorupugulan, Pokiri Raja. Like, there's a lot of those movies where he sort of plays that same sort of role. And those are all really good as well.
Because he did one recently, like a bit comedy, like called Shylock. The film the film itself is not the best.
I haven't watched Shylock. Yeah.
I mean, watch it for him if you are going to watch it. Because the film itself is not the best. But I think he did a good job, like, in that.
Also, he really is ill, you know.
What? Really?
Yeah.
But he doesn't... Well, we haven't seen, like, much of him recently, have we?
No, we haven't. Because he's got a movie. He's supposed to have a movie coming out. I thought it was supposed to come out end of June.
Yeah.
Is what I thought. But I think it's been delayed a little bit.
Oh, no. Because Onam's end of August, right? So
end of August, beginning of September, yeah.
So, there any films you're looking forward to, like...
I don't know what is actually releasing.
So I think Mohanlal's
Hridayapurvam,
is set to be there.
Cool.
I'm
going to India in September, so I'm keen. I'm keen for the time I'm there if there's any releases to go and watch it.
He's got the other one in October, but I think people are kind of...
Which one's the one in October?
Rishabra.
Oh, yeah.
But I think people have already said that it's not going to be like...
I wish he would stop doing that. I wish
that type of film.
Yeah, because what is it? Marikyar. It was sort of like a Pirates of the Caribbean dude. Sort of.
Is it the one on Amazon Prime? I think it's on Prime.
Yeah, I think
There's
it is.
something of seas or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
There's that one, and then there was the one that came out, Valiban. That came out, I think, maybe early last year. Valiban I enjoyed.
Oh, I think I know which one you might be talking about.
Yeah, purely for his performance. Yeah. But LJP, the director, is so known for doing these artsy, long, extended scene, building up everything. So obviously, an audience is not going to enjoy it as much unless you're super into the craft in that way. I just really liked it because I liked his performance in it.
Enough,
But in terms of the whole picture, I can see why it hasn't done so well.
I mean, Fafa's got a Tamil one, I believe.
Yeah.
With Vadai Velu. But that looks a bit more like...
That looks fun too,
like what's going to happen between the two of them. So that's one as well. And then I think one, I've mentioned it already on this podcast, the Cha-Cha, Pacha, like the WWE style one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to. But that's because I'm
Who's in that one?
Oh, the cast is quite big. So I think it's Russian. Is it Russian?
Andrews.
Yeah.
No, Roshan Matthew? Roshan Matthew, yeah. Roshan Andrews is the director. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Arjun Ashokan.
Arjun Ashokan, yeah.
Roshan Matthews, Vishak Nair, Ishan Shokaf, Pooja Mohan Raj, Carmen S. Matthews. So it's
I've never heard.
Yeah, there'll be. I think
I've heard of Roshan Matthew and Arjun Ashokan.
Yeah, he was from Brahma
Which
Yugam.
Brahma Yugam?
Yeah.
Have you watched it yet?
Yeah.
You watched
good.
it?
Yeah, really good. I mean, it's all in black and white.
Yeah.
But regardless, like, it's. I think people can find it a bit scary, depending.
Yeah, dude, I was my parents when I was still living at home. My parents were away, and I decided to watch this movie. I literally ran into my room.
It's bad, like it's scary. I was not gonna say the film was bad. The film was really good. Like Mammootty,
I'm so glad that you're watching more and more of it.
Yeah, I've started to now.
Yeah.
Like, that film, just from start to finish, was like, what's gonna happen? It's a bit weird, but it was like, it will keep you hooked.
Even in the car on the way over, my husband was telling me about Trisha's item song in Thug Life, and I was telling him, I was like, why is
Oh, the Sugar Baby song.
Sugar Baby song?
Oh,
I was
no.
like, he was playing it. I was like, but what? Why is it necessary? I don't know if it's
Yeah, I don't know
necessary
why that
because a movie, like if we're talking about Chotta Mumbai as well, there's no item song. It's literally
but
Mohanlal just trolling around, right?
There was just that actress that turned up in Vas-
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it an item.
No.
And one thing I actually haven't mentioned the whole time, which I loved in the, you see Toma-chan and Saino just getting like down, like
Yeah,
dancing, which
yeah.
was so good in that song. Like, just even going back to that song, honestly, it's like one of the, I love that. Like that song was so
Yeah.
good. Like the whole thing, and that's another thing I want to ask, because we see in that, right, Santa Claus. There was the whole thing. New Year's Day, Santa Claus gets a
Yeah.
burn. Is that actually a legit thing that happens, or they just
No,
make it up?
I think it's just like sometimes.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
depends on where it is.
Because it was like,
But they say
yeah.
the Cochin Carnival,
Yeah,
right? is where it's-
yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's a thing
is
that
that
they
actually
do.
like? I actually don't know. It'd be an interesting thing.
I'm not from Cochins, but like that's why
Like,
I have
it's
no
an
idea.
interesting thing to burn, but I mean, yeah, like even that. But I actually wanted to ask you, because we had a big announcement thing earlier this week.
For
Ramayana.
yeah.
It's like it's the budget. Even yesterday, I was in the car and I was looking at the actors' fees. Before we get into it, I'm just gonna read them out because some people might think this is like
The
ridiculous.
fees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I found it. I was just going on Insta.
I'll be so for real. I didn't notice much in that introductory
you don't-
video
yeah.
except for Hans Zimmer and A.R. Rahman.
I think that's what most people.
Are you going, by the way?
Where?
A.R. Rahman's coming.
No, I'm not. I'm in India.
Stop it.
I'm in India then. October. Yeah, I know. I saw that, and as soon as I saw it was October, it's like 16th whatever. I was like, I'm not here. But I think because then I kind of had, I didn't have a full look, but when I saw that name Hans Zimmer, because I didn't really know
Yeah.
back then. But I saw the work he's done. Dark Knight Rises, F1 he's just done,
Interstellar was Hans Zimmer as well.
and
wasn't it?
Gladiator.
Yeah.
So like, there's some massive
Was
films.
Interstellar Hans Zimmer? I don't think so.
I
Actually.
think it was on there. I think.
Yeah, but
there's
it's gonna
some
be
big
But
films,
even the
that music.
BGM that they used
Oh my god!
in
It's
the
on Spotify.
It
Just-
is.
I was
Oh,
like,
what the Ramayana one?
yeah.
Oh.
As soon as I saw it, that's it. Like the actual like aura that song had was like
Interstellar is Hans Zimmer, by the way.
like it was.
But I just
massive.
don't know how I'm going to digest
the film. Yeah.
Ranbir Kapoor having
No,
such
hey.
a big role in this. I don't know how
Yeah.
he's gonna like. I haven't seen him do such a heavy sort of like being
Even
Ram.
a devotional like
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean he did Shiva in Brahmastra, but so apparently according to this post, the thing for him and Yash, so Ranbir Kapoor was set to get 75 crore
Sure.
for one part. Yeah.
Is this a two-parter?
Yeah.
Oh,
So Diwali
gosh.
next year 26 and Diwali 27.
Oh, it's only 26.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they just finished filming the first one now.
Right, okay.
And then Yash is getting 50 crore, but he's also co-producer. So if he gets money from the film, obviously, but I just, you're right, you didn't get much from the background.
What, Sai Pallavi as Sita?
Yeah.
Sunny Deol as Hanuman.
And there's like Ravi Dubey as Lakshman. I
Yeah.
think that's the one question I have. What is Sunny Deol going to look like? Because
I know. It's going to be, Hanuman is it's going to be such a hard.
it'll either be a hit or just like,
yeah, it could either look really good or it could look really bad. But they said, what is it, 8-time Oscar-winning VFX studio or something is
So-
the one that is doing the VFX
so
for this.
I think there is that faith. But then even the whole like, because I think when I posted a reaction video, it copped a lot of, the film itself copped a lot of criticism.
it's going to.
Like I don't think it deserves it. First of all, there was this whole thing about Ranbir Kapoor eating beef, and it's like the guy eats beef, so why are you gonna play the role? Like that's
Dude,
one thing.
This is what I hate. Every single time they do like a historical movie
Yeah.
like this, or they do like a religious movie, it just gets so much crap.
And they were just talking about how Bollywood or like can only rely on this and whatever, and it's just like a lot of hate going towards it, and I'm like, but let's just watch, because I think with this one will appeal to a lot more non-Indians.
Because of Hans Zimmer.
Not that, but I just think if it is gonna get dubbed in like multiple languages, and stuff, and it's in 2 parts, so there will be more world building. I'm
Yeah,
assuming,
yeah.
right? Because part 2, it's going to be the whole Ravan and Ram
Yeah,
battle,
yeah.
So I think it will appeal more to a non-Indian.
I would want this movie to sort of do really well and actually be made well, because for people like you and me, yeah, I've never lived in India, you've never lived in India. So always, like, I'm Hindu, so learning about, religion and all of that, it was always through parents or
Yeah.
through like things like that. So if there's a movie that clearly told me everything that happened,
Yeah.
I would love that. Like, for the future generation of people who want to be educated on like the religion and all of that.
Yeah, I think it will be. But I think there's one actress that...
Sai Pallavi.
No, there's one more that was going to be in it. I think that's perfect casting, though.
Oh, she'll look
Yeah,
really... Have you seen the leaked photos of them two
They're
together?
like, he's got long hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Where was it? I found another thing about the film. Well, I think the casting so far looks good, but just when I see Ranbir and Sunny as, then I can...
I don't know who else would be able to, like, who else I would see as playing
Also,
Ram, though.
rumor that came up on Instagram, if I saved it or not, but who do you think was actually meant to be in the... Like, apparently was approached for it?
Ranveer Singh.
No. There's 2 massive actors, one from Telugu cinema, one from Bollywood, that apparently was meant to... be
Prabhas?
No. So Mahesh Babu and Hrithik.
Neither of those could do it.
Hrithik as Ravan, maybe.
Not Hrithik as Ram, though.
No, Ravan. I don't know about that. I think the casting they've gone with was better.
Yash is Ravan, right?
Yeah,
yeah. I think yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to get the... Yeah, that's it. Shobana is in it, I think. She's apparently... I think I saw that on Instagram. I'm trying to find it.
Shut up.
Yeah, look. Apparently, I didn't need to read this. But if anyone can see it...
I don't think anyone saw.
Yeah, I'll zoom in for this. But you saw that, innit?
Yeah, what?
Shobana joins...
You know what? She has
Yeah, so this was after... Will reportedly portray Gasi, the mother of Ravana. So
she has such an ethereal, old school sort of beauty that I feel like she would be a perfect casting if she did it.
And she'll be Yash's mom. That might actually
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder. No, I mean they're not gonna make a dance.
No,
I'd be good
no.
to shout
No.
good she is. But, nah,
Please don't.
No, yeah, let's not ruin it. Like, okay, we know she's like clearly
Yeah.
an amazing dancer.
What did you think of the whole vibe of the introduction video, though?
I loved it.
I think it was like a mood setter. I feel
the
like you
animation was
yeah.
like amazing.
It was good when they did the title card in Hindi.
And
It
then,
was good.
you're right.
When they did it in English, I didn't sort of vibe with that.
Oh,
It looked a bit more artificial.
and they used the little pictures. Like I don't know if you noticed, but like
around it.
yeah, and like
yeah.
when you said Sunny D was Hanuman was actually
Yeah.
there and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was one, but like. That was a good thing. But I think even like with Malayalam cinema, there's one big film that I think everyone...
The Mahesh Narayanan.
Patriot. Is it going to be called Patriot? The Mohanlal
Oh,
and
yeah, that's
Mammootty
Patriot.
one.
Yeah. But we don't know, man. We don't even know when that's... But
because
he
weren't
was...
they in Sri Lanka for some...
Yeah, so a friend of mine was actually in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And she saw him at the same resort.
Who?
So
Mohanlal?
Mohanlal,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So he was... I think he was
Yeah.
shooting a movie there.
Because off the top, Naintara is apparently... And Fafa...
Nayanthara Fafa. I feel like it's Kunjaka Boban as well.
Yeah, like that's kind of... Like that's... It's going to obviously be big budget.
Yeah, it's going to be massive.
I feel like it was going to be called Patriot.
Someone accidentally leaked that it was going to be called Patriot.
So it's going to be some war type.
By someone accidentally leaked. I think it was the Sri Lankan government or something. They were like,
see,
oh,
so
they're
they've gone
he's here.
to Sri Lanka, then
Yeah.
clearly. But like that might be some war. But if it's called Patriot,
I don't know.
I'm guessing it could be like some brothers in arms, Sholay kind of war.
It would be. It's Mohanlal and Mammootty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it just depends on Mammootty because
Oh, yeah.
we actually went to an event on Friday where there was an actor there
Oh.
called Tinny Tom, but I personally haven't watched any movies.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's like a mimicry artist, so he was mimicking all the main actors. So before he did the Mammootty one, he was like just want to pray that he comes back with better health. And I was like, oh damn, like I thought it was just rumors, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's real.
Well, at least they haven't like shot like you know how other industries like kind of is media heavy. At least they
Yeah.
haven't. They've given.
I
him
think
that.
they've given. I mean, they
But
are.
he knows
There is
that he wants
speculation.
that.
Yeah, there is speculation. Like he's stayed out of the public eye for so long. So
Yeah.
when he finally comes back, it might be completely.
Like one time, this could be his like he might retire after.
Oh no, I don't think he
You don't
would.
think so?
I think there was an interview that he did
Oh, with the
with the guy from Saudi. Or
yeah.
Dubai.
I was going through that interview the other day.
How good.
That
But he was just saying like,
he seemed so calm.
yeah,
And, like-
he's not gonna stop acting.
Yeah.
As much of a Mohanlal fan I am, like Mammootty's, like that's his. He's
That's his
chosen to.
life. Like,
He's
he knows
chosen
that's
to do
his-
it. Like he's a lawyer, yeah, but he's chosen to do
Yeah.
this, and he's chosen
And
to put the effort in. Mohanlal actually just stumbled into the industry.
And look where he's
Yeah,
taken him.
exactly, right. But
I mean,
Mohanlal's
yeah.
Mammootty studies the craft a bit more. He's more
Yeah.
like careful
'Cause
with how he does.
There was that thing. There was also another post saying that are they going to introduce like a syllabus on Mammootty in like colleges or whatever? I don't know if it was in India or something.
Where can I sign up though?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be this whole module. Also, another film. What's happening to Mohanlal's Ram? Like, isn't that meant to happen? Like him and Trisha.
Dude, they were shooting that thing since 2019, 2020. It's Jitu Joseph as well. So Jitu Joseph was the same one that did Drishyam and all of
But
that.
he's going to do Drishyam 3 first before he does Ram, clearly, right?
Ram is, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, I'm pretty sure it's almost finished done. Like
Film?
It might, yeah.
Oh, let's check. Oh, because it's got Trisha as well, doesn't it? It's
Yeah,
meant to be more-
Ram's been shooting since time.
Well, just going off this, like the AI overview, it's faced significant delays due to COVID-19, subsequent challenges with international filming locations. Yeah, it got halt in early 2020.
It was supposed to be shot in London, actually.
Oh, snap. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, here it
Yeah.
literally says that the director mentioned that the climatic conditions in locations like the UK where they plan were unfavorable, causing further delay. Oh, UK, Tunisia, Morocco, and Israel. Yeah, that you can't definitely. You know.
But then again, I'm just like, now they might be a bit more hesitant to release it, given that Empuran has sort of. I'm guessing it's not the same storyline, obviously, but in terms of the whole multi-city, like that sort of
it
thing,
could
they've
be
already
similar.
done it. So now it's just like, I think the audience also doesn't want to see Mohanlal in
But if
those kind
if
of
it's just
movies.
him and Trisha, from what we know,
Yeah.
I don't know how that. Because what was I gonna say about this film? But like, he's doing Drishyam 3 first, and then we like.
Yeah.
Because Drishyam 3, I think is expected to October next year, October.
Yeah.
So, and guess what? They're doing the Hindi version too, right?
Oh yeah, we were talking about this. We were like,
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Like,
what gets me is that when you type in Drishyam on Google, it's Ajay Devgan's face that comes up.
first,
Yeah, he is not the one.
Yeah, obviously he's
that
not the OG,
pioneered-
yeah, like-
he's not the OG. Like,
no.
and that's what I hate about. I mean, obviously, because it is a smaller, like the Malayalam cinema industry is like a smaller
And
industry.
Just
fair
how
enough.
well that Hindi one did, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.